Imagine you just purchased the sports car of your dreams and have it on the open road. You smash the pedal and feel the adrenaline rush as the car hits 90 miles per hour. You drop a gear and blow past 100, and right when you hit 110 miles per hour, the RPM needle drops and you feel the momentum carry your head forward as you just hit a speed governor. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Drone Quote YouTube channel. I'm your host, Sinue Montoya. In today's video, we're going to be discussing solar clipping. I started the video by describing a vehicle's governor because it illustrates solar clipping very well. Next, we'll discuss what causes it, what you could do about it, and why it's not the worst thing in the world. A solar panel has a maximum output capacity rated in watts, similar to how a vehicle's speedometer displays what the car can do in miles per hour. You want to install solar panels in an unshaded area with optimal direction and pitch for maximum output. Placing the solar panel on the best roof possible and where they'll get the most sunlight would be akin to putting your sports car on a smooth, straight road. Keeping the shade off the solar panels is like having the road open and free of traffic, because it doesn't matter if you're driving a Bugatti in Los Angeles traffic. You're not going any faster than the Prius next to you. So then, what exactly is solar panel clipping? Clipping is when there is more solar capacity from the solar panel or the entire solar panel system than the installed inverter can convert from DC to AC electricity. When clipping occurs, the solar production will ramp up and eventually the solar system's output capacity is throttled or clipped at whatever the inverter's capacity is. In this first example, you can see that the bell curve is cut off closer to the top, meaning that the system clipped right near what would have otherwise been the peak output. In this image, you can see a lovely bell curve with a nice round hump at the top, meaning that there was no clipping or loss of output. Say you have an 8,000 watt system. It would make logical sense to install an 8,000 watt inverter. If it's a microinverter system, let us say you have a 400 watt panel, thereby making sense to pair a 400 watt inverter with the panel. Well, not really. You see, there's a difference between the solar panel's performance in the laboratory versus the real world. Here you can see this panel can hit 400 watts under test conditions. However, in the same column below, you can see that the panel will hit closer to 300 watts in normal operating conditions. And that assumes there isn't any shade. You have optimal orientation, pitch, time of year, and time of day. The likelihood that you will have optimal conditions for your solar panel placement will be determined by factors specific to your home, your roof, and where you live. Even then, the top of the bell curve only happens during a short window. Some solar clipping is okay. You shouldn't let it sway your decision-making process too much. It doesn't matter because too many variables must line up for it to be a significant concern. This is not to say you should pair a 4,000 watt inverter with a 9,000 watt system or a 215 watt microinverter with a 400 watt panel. Clipping is even less of a concern using single inverter system with multiple arrays. In this example, the solar panels are split between west and east. That means that the panels facing east will ramp up production in the early morning, peak output earlier in the afternoon, and decrease output as the sun starts moving overhead from the east to the west. At this point, the west-facing panels will light up while the east-facing panels will begin to decline in production. Because the panels face different directions, a single inverter system will never reach the total capacity of the system's output. With this 14 kilowatt system, I would feel 100% confident installing a 10 kilowatt inverter. Another reason clipping is okay, and in my opinion preferred, is because you won't ever clip all day, and during the winter, you may not even clip at all. Additionally, as the panels age, their capacity will decrease, so what may have been an undersized inverter today would be a good fit tomorrow. What can you do if you're dead set on avoiding clipping? You can either decrease the solar panel wattage to align better with the inverter, or increase the inverter's capacity. With a SolarEdge inverter, it is easy to define the wattage because it's in the model number. A SolarEdge 5000 refers to a 5,000 watt inverter. With microinverters, you want to look at the spec sheet where it says maximum continuous output. Here you can see that the Enphase IQ8 Plus is rated for a max continuous output of 290 watts, which pairs very well with the earlier solar panel spec sheet that displayed 300 watts of output under normal conditions. If you put those two together under ideal conditions, you'd clip about 10 watts of output during a short window of time during the day. That's that flat top you saw in the bell curve earlier. Increasing the inverter capacity though will present its own challenges. First, you're going to pay more for the inverter, but in my opinion, the bigger problem is that as you increase the inverter capacity, you also increase the amperage requirements on your main service panel, where you may now have to upgrade the panel to meet the additional amperage requirements of the larger inverters. A typical panel upgrade costs about $2,500, assuming you can upgrade the panel. If I had to choose between clipping or keeping $2,500 in my pocket, I would choose savings. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, hasta la vista, baby.